Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to Optimize Your Body with Martin Silva. Today is a bit of a different one. I have my mum on the show because I'm over here in Australia. She came over to visit me and here she is. How you doing, Mum?
I'm fine, thank you.
You enjoying Sydney life?
I am, but I'm waiting for it to get hotter.
Yes. You've had some bad luck. It's gone cold all of a sudden. Literally the day she got here, cold and windy, which doesn't help with your illness. You feel the cold quite a lot, don't you, with the autoimmune disease you have?
Yes, I do. It's called Systemic Sclerosis.
Yes. Well done for the pronouncing that.
And 99% of people with this condition will also have Raynaud's, which, as a lot of people know, Raynaud's is definitely affected by the cold.
Yeah, and Raynaud's is quite common. I actually have Raynaud's myself, I think, don't I? Where it's just the circulation and you get like cold fingers and you feel the cold quite a lot, like a little bitch. I feel the cold like a little bitch. Not anymore though, because I've been having cold showers. Anyway, that's conditioned me for the cold weather, so I don't feel that shit anymore, but I still get white fingers. Anyway, the reason I've got my mum here on episode 14 is because I've learned a lot from her in terms of her positive attitude through thick and thin. In the face of, hard times, she always manages to come through. And yeah, her determination is definitely something which has pushed me forward in my career with health and fitness and competitions and just my general mindset. But yeah, where did you get the determination from, Mum? Because you have this. Can you tell the listeners a little bit more about your illness? Because I wanted them to know.
But I had Raynaud's for years and years. And then when I was pregnant with my daughter, who is 23, so she's 7 years younger than Martin, I got an infection in one of my fingers and was diagnosed with a condition called systemic sclerosis, which is an autoimmune disease of the connective tissue. So it can affect every part of your body. Obviously, everything is tissue, so it makes the tissue go quite hard. I've lost a couple of my fingers. Have been gangrenous. My heart has been affected.
So yeah, you can't see her fingers right now, but like she doesn't really, she's not really one to like whine about it and go into too much detail. But her hands, your hands are deformed. Let's face it.
Yeah, and infection.
Explain, because they can't see your hands yet. So just like I'm looking at them now.
If you ever remember older people with rheumatoid arthritis and their fingers are bent over, it looks very similar to that. Only you can see like the fingers are not straight. There's bits missing off them. In fact, they're quite deformed. But just don't ask me to go and get a few pints of beer or pick anything up because I can't carry them.
Yeah, but they're like, so you can imagine, and picture, I'll have to put them on my Instagram, the fingers, so you can see. Our fingers, if you straighten your fingers out, ours are straight. Hers, the nerves have been taken out, right? So they're completely bent and crooked, right? So they're like on a...
The nerves are not taken out.
Right.
They're fused. They're fused in that position because of infection.
So imagine you clench your fist, right, folks? Imagine you're clenching your fist. Her hands are pretty much not far off a full clenched fist all the time due to her illness. So that was one of the first symptoms of one. You had cold, like white fingers with the circulation, and then you had an infection.
It wouldn't heal.
Yeah, because the immune system attacks itself, right?
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah.
So with an autoimmune disease, with my mother's, my mother's specifically, the immune system attacks itself. So yeah, it affects pretty much everything. And you had what are those bags called? The poo bag.
A stoma, ileostomy. I've had an ileostomy now for 2 years, but this, you must remember, this is going 3 years into the condition, and I had the ileostomy bag 21 years into the condition, and I also get fed through a central line. I think they call it a Broviac or a Hickman line,
yeah,
which goes into the heart, and I get fed through a tube, which is a fluid which gives me all my nutrients I need. I'm on that 3 nights a week.
And why is that? And that's because of the esophagitis.
Yeah, because I can't really eat a lot of foods and a lot of substance foods because I can't swallow them because, like I said, the connective tissue goes tight and it tightens around your throat and your esophagus, so you haven't got that where a normal person eating, it will propel the food down into the gut, where mine doesn't. It just stops. And
so what is it? Because the connective tissue, like obviously being a trainer and with the knowledge I have, all I know is the connective tissue is like the ligaments, the tendons, the soft tissue, the cartilage. That's all the connective tissue, right? Yeah.
Everything
so you have all
connected.
that. I didn't even know. Yeah, everything. I know that. Well, I don't know that. I do now. That makes sense, actually. Everything
by the way,
connected.
I must say, I am not medically trained. All I know is my own condition. People with this condition will suffer and will present in various ways when none of us are the same. And I'm just speaking from my personal experience with the condition. Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to say then about on that note, wanted to say that I also I'm not a doctor. I'm not even a nutritionist. Just wanted to put that one out there actually, because sometimes I kind of forget to mention the fact that I'm not, I haven't got all these qualifications as long as my arm, but I do know about health, fitness, nutrition. Just put that one out there, folks, just so you know I'm not a doctor. Anyway, I had a few questions for you, Mum. Let's go more into like my upbringing and stuff, because I just like to share with the audience, with the background I've had and stuff like that. So, what was it like, man, when we were younger? We weren't particularly rich, were we? But
we weren't rich, but hey-ho. I did work. I was a lorry driver for years, believe it or not, class 1. Up until Martin was 7, everything was fine. I just got a bit cold now and again. And I remember taking Martin to a gym when he was in a pushchair and I was on a treadmill.
Is that the time you fell off the treadmill? Yeah. I remember that.
We were messing around a bit.
I remember that. I remember, I was in stitches, wasn't I? I can actually remember that. You fell off a treadmill. There we are. Anyway, you forgot about that part that you were going to mention, now.
I introduced Martin to the gym early days.
7 years old, see, folks. That's my secret.
Before 7, you were in a pushchair, Martin. You were about two and a half.
There we go. 2.5.
So
that wasn't when you fell off the treadmill, then,
no,
was
I
it? fell
off another time as I got older.
Okay.
And I was pretty fit. I like to run. A few laps around the wreck.
Around the park, yeah.
Swim. I was quite fit. I always like walking. Hill walking was my thing.
Yeah. But how about the struggle? Because I do remember, you struggled. Let's obviously just tell them a bit more about your background in terms of your upbringing and stuff. Anyway, because the reasons you're so resilient and stuff like that is, obviously your upbringing wasn't particularly sunshine and rainbows. Was it?
Well, brought up in care from the age of 2, left at 16 to fend for myself. Then was taken in again at 16 by Dr. Bernardo's, and then at 17, nearly 18, into bedsits, and fended for myself until I had Martin 25. But I was okay. I worked. I looked after myself. But there was just me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
then. So that's obviously your determination has helped you raise 2 kids for sure, Mum. And just me being, you've always, the level I'm at now in terms of, where I've taken my fitness and stuff like that, and, got to the pro level as a bodybuilder, all that kind of stuff. You've always pushed me to play sports. I remember even when I was really young, pushing me to play rugby. Remember that time? You might want to tell him. I was crying and stuff one night. It was so cool.
Glamorgan Wanderers, age 5, in a field, and I'm stood on the sidelines, and he's just looking at me as if saying, "Mum, I don't want to do this. It's cold. It's raining. Why are you doing this to me?" I think at 5 he didn't enjoy it that much, so we changed clubs, and I think after that he started to enjoy it a bit more.
But yeah, she's always pushed me to play sports. Pushed me, you can't deny that, because I remember I didn't even want to play rugby at one point.
Taekwondo at 5 as well.
Karate, kickboxing, you name it, and I've done every sport. But rugby I pursued up until the age of about 23, 24. And I loved rugby, I really enjoyed that. And then soccer as well, everything, wasn't it? So that definitely is a huge contributor to the way, obviously I started lifting weights when I was 14, 15. And it's something I've always been accustomed to and always been used to doing, is being fit, being active and competitive. That's the word I'm looking for. Very, very competitive due to all the sports I played. So that has definitely propelled me forward when it comes to building a career and getting to the professional level as a fitness model. So I want to thank you for that, Mum. Anyway, how can we benefit the listeners today, Mum? Right, so the point in this podcast, I guess, is because I'm running out of ideas.
That's a lot, matey.
As you can see, I'm sat here interviewing my mother. You know what I'm saying?
No, he's got a new Apple Mac.
Yeah.
And he's testing it out with me.
Testing it out. It might sound a bit weird because I couldn't connect the mic. So, because you need an adapter, so we're just talking into the laptop right now, so apologies if you can't understand it. But yeah, just the mindset, man, because you do a lot of voluntary work, you know, the expert patient program. Do you want to tell them more about that? Just because giving, I keep saying to you guys, I've only started doing it a little bit lately. I've done nothing in terms of giving, but it's very important for your state of mind, I've gathered. Makes you feel good.
Well, ever since I got ill, I couldn't work. When I was first ill, I'd done the same old thing as most people do. Oh, why me? What have I done to deserve this? And then I just thought to myself, you know, come on, you can whinge about it. It's not going to get better. It's a progressive condition. It's going to get worse. If you carry on whinging, you carry on feeling sorry for yourself, it's going to get worse, and it's going to get worse a lot quicker. So do something. You can't do the things you used to do. Do the things you can do, or adapt the things that you used to be able to do. You have to adapt them to how you're feeling. And so that's what I did. I took up voluntary work.
Wasn't that after my stepdad, Charlie, died?
No.
Okay,
I've done voluntary work for a long time. I've done age concern, from age concern to the witness service in Crown Court. I've done various voluntary work. And then I joined up with a thing called the Expert Patient Program, or Educating Patients Program. And it's a 6-week course for people who are living with life-term chronic conditions such as arthritis, anything. It could be anything. A lot of the people we get that come on these courses have got depression. And again, chronic conditions and illnesses are well known to cause people to get depressed. So we have a lot of depression and anxiety issues, and people come in and they go on a 6-week course, which is only 2 hours a week for 6 weeks. And we just give them the tools to help them manage their own condition, really, and tell them there are better things out there. You know, you can still live with a health condition. You can still, you can still function as a person. You know, it's not, don't let everything be taken away from you. And on week 1, they come in and, you know, and it is quite heavy on week 1. They're really down and they don't think this is going to help them this course. And I say to them, if you stay here till week 6, apart from having some of my brilliant Welsh cakes that I make for them.
Ooh, they are splendid.
Cranberry.
I bought you that stove, didn't I, to make them with, because I know how good they are. Ooh, wee.
And if you stay till week 6, the difference in yourself and in how you will look at the world and how you will manage your condition will be amazing. So, And for me, to see the change from a person from week 1 to week 6, and to see them managing, some of them going back to work, some of them doing things they hadn't done for years, and just the letters of thanks, the little gifts at the end. I mean, they're not, you know, we're not there for gifts and things, but when they say thank you, you've changed my life, and a lot of them become tutors themselves. Yeah, it's all worthwhile, and it's good for me as a person. I just love to see the results and making people, you know, happier and healthier, really, mind and body and mind.
There we go. You can see where I got it from now. No, but that's it. Like, I mean, I've heard recently that I think they've done some studies. I don't know how they work these studies out, but people who do voluntary work and work for free are actually extremely happy people because you know, giving and helping people and adding value to the world is very, very important. That's what I've come to learn recently, that actually when it comes to money doesn't really, I mean, everyone's different, everyone has different drivers, but money doesn't really motivate me. It motivates me, obviously, because I need to earn money to, you know, have a lifestyle and, you know, to enjoy the life that I want to live. But it's not a massive motivator for me. What really motivates me is giving and helping people. Obviously, I'm nowhere near on my mum's level or some other people. I'm still trying to develop that. But yeah, I just, I think it's quite inspirational, mum. So good work. Go on.
And just to say that the mind and body are so connected. If you're feeling down, then eventually your body will follow and you will get ill. If you're feeling down constantly, you will get ill one way or the other. If you start smiling at silly things, wake up in the morning, just look at yourself in the mirror even if you look a mess, even more reason to smile. Just smile at yourself, embrace every day. Get up and smile and, think positive thoughts, and eventually your body will react to it. A healthy mind, a healthy body, and vice versa. And people really don't seem to make that connection, You smile, you make other people smile. It's contagious.
Okay, let me just say about, you were saying earlier about, so my sister and I, we have different fathers. My sister, awkward. But my sister's dad helped bring me up because my dad wasn't really on the scene, and I became very close to him. He was more like a best friend really than a dad. And then he died back in 2004. And you were saying earlier something switched in your mind in terms of positive outlook. Was it? You said it kind of.
Well, for the year that he died, I really can't remember too much about it. All I remember is that I had to try and keep the grief from you and Kirsty. And then I started thinking, well, Charlie would have loved to have been alive. He did love life, And there's so many people out there that love living and have lost their lives. And I just thought, it's a gift. It's a gift that we're alive, and we should live it every day. I mean, if you really don't want to live your life, then you are better off dead. But I think everyone's got a life to live, and it's just remembering that it's important. We're here once, and let's just make the most of it, and let's just try and be as positive as we can. Things are always sent to try us and to make us, struggle, but we just need to be more positive, really, and just realise how well off we are and be grateful for everything that we have got.
Gratitude. Yeah, and also it's like, what I can't help but thinking, though, like it's being a bit blown out of proportion. When people say, oh, just think positive, just be positive. I feel like when I look at things on social media and stuff like that or whatever, I feel like there's a lot more to, you have to train your brain, right? That's what I've gathered. Yeah, so we'll go more into that now. You have to train your brain, right? So like I've started doing a bit of meditation and stuff like that. And over the last year or so, I really value, training your brain and keeping your brain and your minds and your soul in good tact. So you have to practice and you have to put time into stuff like meditation, reading books, getting enough sleep, managing your stress levels essentially. So I remember you were telling me about this ages ago on your courses. You teach all of this, yeah, Mum? So what is it like? Because keeping a positive attitude, right? Yes, I agree with that. And, trying to maintain positive. But, the world is fucked up, right? Yeah. The world's a pretty screwed up place. So it's a lot easier said than done. Just be positive, be positive. And, like I used to actually watch The Secret, that thing, where they talk about, the law of attraction and all this kind of stuff. And I actually bought into it for a bit. But now, what I, from like kind of developing myself over the last couple of years, like, really? Just think positive and all these things are really going to happen. I think there's more to it than that, But obviously keeping a positive attitude. Like say, for example, one of the things on The Secret was, I think some guy was like paralyzed from this accident, and he was just thinking positive and keeping his mind, strong when he was going through this tough time. And then, he got better and stuff like that. Is the mind really that powerful, Mum? Do you think, like, really? I mean, you know what I mean? Or is it getting? You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, it's not always easy. And God forbid anybody that loses a child or loses someone close to you. It's very, very, it's the blackest of times for some people. And, not everybody can think that way. And I'm sure, as hell, if I was one of them person who lost one of my kids, God forbid, then, it would be very, very difficult to come back from that. But life goes on. And, they're always going to be there in your heart. And, that's getting a big deep dive.
Yeah, that's getting we're going off a bit here. But anyway, what about, I'm talking about just the mind, the mental side of it.
You've got to
just
train your
training
mind.
your brain, yeah. So
as you train your body to look like you do, you have to train your mind to think. Stop being negative about yourself. Stop putting yourself down all the time. Oh, you stupid thing, what did you do that for?
That's right. And they've actually done studies on that, though, as well. Like, like training the grey matter in your brain, whatever that is like certain parts of your brain which activate serotonin, the happy chemical, or whatever. And they found people who meditate consistently, they've done like CT scans or brain scans, whatever, and they found that they actually have a higher a much higher dose of serotonin and happy chemicals in their brain because they've trained and activated certain parts of the brain, the grey matter. Whereas people who have high stress levels and don't actually put any practice into their minds, into their state of mind, have much lower levels of serotonin, higher levels of cortisol, the stress hormone and stuff. Really interesting. So,
but some people as well, mind, you've got to remember, some people, if they've got depression, anxiety, some people do need more help. Some people do need to go to the doctor. The most important thing is to talk about it. So again, you know, that's another issue altogether. I mean, but if you're just feeling down, miserable, negative, then it is as simple as training your mind.
What tips though? Be more specific then. What do you do? Because you've had this in the 20s.
Wake up in the morning.
I've witnessed the struggle. This is another reason why I wanted to get this podcast out there, because you're not like because you're used to it now, right? So you're just talking as if it's just it's life for you now, isn't it? But I've seen the struggle. I've witnessed what you've been through.
You saw me in hospital 2 years ago when
I've wiped your ass in the hospital numerous times. You almost die when you had that bloody bag fitted. You know, it's been tough, and you've pulled through it, and you just continue to just live and smile or whatever. So just give them some more specific. Like for example, when you got diagnosed with this illness, that must have hit you for 6.
Yeah. Why me? All them things, or feeling sorry for myself. Why me? There's no cure.
How long did it take you to get through that, though? Because then you were going through a tough time in the relationship at the same time, weren't you?
It took me a while. A good few years, but I knew that I had always been happy. I'd always been a happy person, a positive person, and I think deep down somewhere inside me, I knew that, it's going to change my life. I've got 2 beautiful kids. I've got to be a mum. First and foremost, I've got to be a mum, and I've got to be a happy mum. I can't see my kids can't see me crying all the time. And I mean, there was a time when Martin was coming home from school, and I'd be so doped up on painkillers that I'd be, dribbling from the mouth line on the settee, and he'd come in, And it got to the stage where, I got to do something. I got to do something for myself, because I'm not going to get better like this. I'm going to get worse a lot quicker. So I am grateful. I've got 2 brilliant kids, and I'm just so grateful that.
There we go. That's it, and that's what I've been practicing a lot, is gratitude. Just running through 10 things I'm grateful for every morning, just writing them down, or just on my way to work, I'll just run through, what I'm happy about, what I'm grateful for, what I'm excited about, what I enjoy doing. These Tony Robbins tricks, and it does help a lot. It's emotional intensity though. You need to really put the emotions into it, and you need to practice it day in, day out. You need to be consistent with it, just like I have been in the gym for the last, 16 years. And I've built a healthy body, and, it's taken me places. So it all comes down to consistency, and actually you've got to apply yourself in life. It's not going to be, if I know it's easy for me to say, I'm a very fortunate individual, I'm a healthy individual, whatever. But, there's so many people out there who just have that negative state of mind. They have that fixed mindset where it's like everything's against them, and like moaning and whinging and hating on other people because they're doing well. So they want this. They live their life on like short-term pleasures and like instant gratification. It makes them feel better when they say something shit about someone, or they'll put someone down. And people live their whole lives. In fact, I reckon most of the world, the westernized world, live their lives that way, without being harsh, just from what I've observed myself. But there's the people who don't, the people I notice who really grow and have an impact on the world. So just having that positive outlook and training your brain. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to ask about tips. What specifically do you do? Like you teach courses on this, right? So what do you tell them when they come in depressed and they've got these illnesses or whatever? How do you get the message across to them?
We just teach them a symptom cycle. Like you've got to learn to break the symptom cycle.
Can you remember any of that? I remember you used to write it down.
Fatigue, physical pain, difficult emotions, tiredness. Just a big symptom cycle that goes around and around. You got pain. You get fatigued, you get tired, you get a low mood, and it just goes around, and you've got to learn to break it at certain points, and people break a lot of these symptoms by exercise, as it releases serotonin levels and endorphins and makes you feel better, although at the time you're exercising it doesn't always feel like that, but when you're finished, It does, and it gives you, and you're focusing on something at the time you're doing it, so it's taking your mind, it's a distraction.
Let me just stop you there a minute. Exercise, yeah, you've got a dog, haven't you, which has been a big game changer for you, hasn't it?
Gosh, yeah.
So the dog's how old now, 15?
She's 15, and she's been out twice a day, every day, for 15 years.
Exactly. Remember you used to do the mountains, all that kind of stuff before you got really ill? Yeah. So that was your thing. It was exercise was a bit of a saviour for you, really, and the dog, having that companionship as well.
And sometimes you don't feel
the outdoors, though. You like the outdoors, don't you?
You wake up in the morning, it's freezing cold, it's raining.
Yeah, in the UK, that's the norm, by the way, in the UK.
Hey, the dog's still got to go out. So you just dress up accordingly, you make sure you're dry, you're warm, and you get out, and you feel like crap sometimes when you're walking, and it's miserable.
And the gym as well, obviously, I've trained my mum a few times, but she can't grip onto any weights because of her hand. She can't do anything with weights. So we improvise a bit. My sister's also a trainer, and we train her from time to time. You noticed like changes in your body, and you felt better when you built your strength up?
And the strength.
Which is something you've got to pick back up now when you get on, because you were ill for a bit when you had to stop. But yeah, so exercise... you need to build your strength. Oh yeah, let's talk about nutrition, right? So you have the TPN 3 times a week.
Here we go.
My last bullet point here, guys, is nutrition and your addiction to sugar. So we're all addicted to sugar. I'm addicted to sugar. I don't care what. Like the majority of people on this planet are addicted to sugar. But I kind of normally I'll have sugar which has nutrients in, but I'll still go overboard at least once a week. I very rarely have processed foods, but I do occasionally. But for me, it's just a case of overeating calories every now and then because I'm addicted to the taste of food. Go on, cough. You're going to sneeze. Oh, bless you. Yeah, so the emotional attachment is still there for me with food. But yeah, so Mum, you can't really. I understand. So basically, she milks it, doesn't you, Mum? Because you can't digest good food. She eats chocolate and sweets and stuff like that every night. And I understand. It's fun to do that. It makes you feel good. We all know that, yeah. Like the substance food kills more people than any other substance, right? Alcohol, all that kind of stuff. We all know there's an epidemic with people addicted. But to be fair, considering you have your illness, you're still burning. We had this discussion earlier. You're still burning more calories than what you're eating. That's great. But I don't buy into that camp, right? Burn more calories than you eat and you're going to be healthy. Bullshit. That's one fraction of your long-term health. Okay, what you're putting into your body is going to determine the outcome. And you don't put great stuff in your body.
I put my orange and I put my green and my red juices in that.
Yeah, okay. Earlier on, she had I'm not judging that. It's fine. I understand you want to eat shit, but I'm just saying, like, it just worries me a bit because I know what shit you're putting into your body and into your gut and how much long-term damage you're doing with inflammation and all the rest of it and the lack of nutrients and whatnot. It's like earlier you had that she had an ice lolly earlier and it was like watermelon flavour. You're like, oh yeah, it's a watermelon though, isn't it?
I really thought it was.
No, but you are addicted to sugar, right? Just
yeah, of course I am.
I want to make it relatable because we're all addicted.
I'm addicted to sugar. I like honey in my tea. I thought I'd stop taking sugar, so I thought I'll have the healthier option.
It is the healthier option, yeah, exactly.
Honey, but
yeah, but that's fine. Yeah, but you still have like sweets, like yeah. So what's your favourite sweets? Like Circus Delight, Dairy Milk.
No, I know that people who've got a ileostomy bag, sometimes it can be really runny, and if it's runny, you're losing all your nutrients straight away. And they advise you to eat. Oh gosh, I can't believe I'm saying this. They advise you to eat like marshmallows, wine gums, because it's got gelatin in, and it stiffens it up again, so it thickens the substance is coming out into your ileostomy bag.
There we go. That's the end of that one. Anyway, sorry if you were eating. Anyway, I just wanted to delve a little bit into that. But yeah, so what kind of? Because I remember just one more thing now, folks. I know Alfie, you're probably falling asleep, but I'm only joking. No, but the food that I used to eat, because I remember like we never really used to eat like fresh organic food. Like you didn't have much money, did you?
No.
Like we were quite poor, so. I used to eat, but I'd always been fed. There's always food on the table, always a roof over my head. But I used to eat like not the best foods really. If you look back, it was like a lot of it was frozen, like processed. But I'm a healthy individual, and I was healthy when I was younger, right? But what did you used to feed me? Like just whatever you could afford, isn't it? Really.
I tried to do a cooked dinner on a Sunday.
Yeah.
If you were playing rugby and I was picking up you and all your mates, you'd opt for a McDonald's.
Yeah, I'd have McDonald's once a week. That was like a treat, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, it depended on what you wanted when you come home. And I did cook a few things from scratch, like spaghetti bolognese.
Yeah, you used to have that, yeah.
You used to like shepherd's pie with loads of cheese on top.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, of course.
So
and then the turkey twizzlers and all the frozen food now as well. Yeah,
exactly.
That's it. But I always had loads of dairy and wheat, which I don't have anymore, right? So I am a little bit intolerant to dairy. I don't have that anymore because I feel crap when I have it. And wheat, I tend not to feel good when I have that, so I don't have that anymore. But I grew up eating like cereal all the time and loads of full fat milk, which is better, by the way, folks. If you have full fat, don't have low fat. So yeah, I used to have all that kind of stuff, and I've turned out fine. So it just goes to show that the body will adapt to anything, innit? Really. So like, just so they know, I haven't always been eating plates of veg, right? That's not like something I've grew up eating. It's
but you
something
do
I've trained my
crave
brain.
now, whereas I can crave a bag of sweets or a Cadbury's milk chocolate. And I think most women will relate to what I'm saying here about chocolate. It's definitely more a woman thing than a man thing.
That's because they're weaker mentally, that's what it is.
But
no, it's not really.
Martin craves. He craves for vegetables now. Now he's been eating them regular and he knows what goodness are going into his body. Whereas I'll crave a chocolate bar, he'll crave vegetables.
There we go, and that's it. And I've got to that point. It's taken me a while to get there, but that is kind of...
training your body.
Training your body, yeah, and training the mind, though. That's where it's at, isn't it? When you're eating foods that our brains, as Sal said on the last podcast, our brains have been hijacked, though. So we don't really know what nutrients are anymore. Our bodies don't crave nutrients because they're not palatable for you because you've been eating foods for the most part. You've been chasing sugar. Most of us have been eating food which comes out of packets, and we're hooked to having those kind of foods. Which are engineered to make you addicted. So to get me out of that, it's taken me a good few years. But I just got to the point where you start feeling good. If you just give it a bit of consistency, where you're eating, say, for example, 2 servings of veg a day, do that consistently and watch how you feel. Before you know it, your body will be crying out for vegetables. It sounds silly, it sounds quite woo-woo, but when you get to that point, that is when it's a game-changing moment then, because your body's crying out for good foods. And forget about, like, obviously lifting weights and training properly is really important, but I am in the shape of my life without even thinking about it anymore. Training for me now is not even a priority. It's like I'll fit it into my lifestyle when I can. Because outside of the gym, I'm eating healthy foods most of the time because my body craves that and I know what my body needs because I've given it time. I've listened to my body for long enough to actually know what it needs. So that's what it comes down to, folks. Just give it a bit of consistency. Try making small changes. Like, for example, have 2 servings of veg a day. Try and reduce or cut out processed foods. And drink, say, a little bit more water. Drink an extra litre or 2 of water a day. And then on top of that, maybe move more. Get yourself a Fitbit. My mum's got a Fitbit. Get yourself a Fitbit and track how many steps you're doing. Right? Do those 3 things. Drink more water, have 2 servings of veg a day, and move. Try and do, say, 8,000 to 15,000 steps every day. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to lose body fat. You're going to start feeling better. And then on top of that, when you start lifting weights, it's just game over. It's just that consistency, folks, right? And just, if you want to get in shape, right, and you think, I can't do what he does, I can't do what she does, because I know it's tough. You see these people on Instagram, and their physique is unrealistic. It looks unachievable. But most of the time, these people have been training for years and years. They got freaky genetics. The worst thing you can do is compare yourself to other people, right? So comparisons are the thief of all joy. Remember that, right? So the second you start comparing yourself to others, it will rob you of your joy, rob you of your happiness. And it's very hard nowadays over social media. But just to put that one out there, just focus on your own game. Try and make those 3 changes that I mentioned. And yes, talking about lifting weights, my Build Your Best Body program, training program, is live now. It's a 9-week plan, and you will build a significant amount of muscle. You will lose body fat, and it will completely help you. It'll be completely transformative, guaranteed. So there's still 50% off as well. So just click the link in my bio on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, it's at Martin Silva Fitness. But just click the link in my bio, check out my blog, which explains what the program is. Scroll to the bottom, click on it, put the code in MS Founder. Yeah, MS, my initials, Founder, and you'll get 50% off. And that will get you on the right tracks, trust me. And then I'm going to be, I'm building this online stuff now, so I'm going to be having nutrition guides, all this kind of stuff coming soon as well. So stay tuned.
Can I say one more thing?
Crack on.
About having a healthy mind. Read. Learn. Knowledge is key to everything, and you learn and you read. Read is relaxing. Reading makes you, well, it educates you.
Helps you grow, doesn't it? Exactly, yeah. And that's exactly what I said in the last. This is the 3 things. It's funny you said that, because gratitude, yeah, so what we were talking about with you, with your voluntary work.
Always be thankful for the good things in life, the little things that you've got. Little things, like if someone smiles at you in the morning, I think it's lovely. If someone
It's
smiles.
very rare that happens. So how about you? Like I said, how about you smile at someone else? That is what I'll do. Like if, for example, I had it the other day, I was walking home from work and thought, I haven't actually give anything today. So I thought, I'll just smile at this person now when they walk by. And actually, it was a guy. It wasn't a woman. It was a guy, which is a bit weird. But
Say one thing. I think it was about a year and a half ago. Me and Martin, we went into a village called Whitchurch Village, where I live in Cardiff, and I bought loads of them little Kinder teddy bears, the gold ones. And I was giving them out randomly to people. I just thought, an old lady there or an old man there or someone who didn't.
There we go. So that's gratitude. So like, I just want to say though. So that's it. The 3 G's, right? I think it's 3 G's. Yeah, gratitude. Just being grateful for what you've got. The little things, like my mum just said. Yeah. And then when she said about learning, grow. That is something like I literally only read a few pages of a book each day because I don't really find the time. But I listen to an audio. I use audible.com and I listen to 1 book a month. And I just try and learn. You've got YouTube, you've got podcasts, you've got a world of knowledge in front of you. This plethora of knowledge flying at you, right? You have absolutely no excuse not to learn and grow. And trust me, growing, giving. Oh my God, what was the other one? Growing, giving, and how have I forgot that? What's the other? Is there another G? No, gratitude is giving, isn't it? Gratitude. No, that's different, isn't it? It's
gratitude is being grateful and thankful.
Oh, sorry, they're different things, aren't they? Yeah. Gratitude is being grateful, giving, and growing. So those 3 G's, yeah, stick to those, and it definitely is gonna completely, it's gonna help you evolve as a person, and yeah, just switch your mindset. Yeah. So I was just saying, Audible though. If you want to listen to books, just listen to them whilst you're walking around. Use the audible.com. You get a book a month for like $15. Podcasts, just trust me, guys and girls, get on it and you'll never look back. Build your best body though. Check it out, click the link in my bio, and don't forget, if you can go to iTunes and give me a 5-star rating, please. But just give me a rating and a review. That'd be a massive help. And if you have any questions or anything like that, drop me an email, martinsilva@hotmail.co.uk. Thanks for chiming in, Mum, I appreciate it. She's gone now, but anyway, she just walked off. Thanks for that. Rude. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for listening, and stay tuned for episode 15.